Levites.
All right. And that's the one. That's what we're reviewing today. The fathers of the nations.
Yep.
Levi, the third born.
That is the title of the lesson, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fathers of the nations, Levi, the third born. Mm-hmm. What you got here, Prophet?
You want to? Okay, so for Haitians, we know that the Levites are the Hades. They're known as the Haitians right now in today's vernacular. Mm-hmm. So it says, what is the main religion in Haiti? So similar to the rest of Latin America, Haiti was colonized by Roman Catholic, mm-hmm. European powers such as the Spanish and the French. Following in this legacy, Catholicism was the Haitians' constitution as its official state religion until 1987.
All of the tribes were taken over by people that overthrew them, that colonized them, mm-hmm. that brought them their religion.
That's right.
Their medicine, mm-hmm. all that stuff came from other people, okay? This happened to the Most High's people, his chosen people. Mm-hmm. His 12 tribes were colonized, taken over, mm-hmm. and led in captivity.
That's right. And so, what you're saying that, let's just make, it says, where do Haitian people come from?
Come on.
This is just simple things that you can find in Google. You know, that's our main.
Now, brother, before the prophets read this, I'm going to remind you, the 12 tribes are Shemitic people. They're not African people. They're not from Ham. No. Come on.
Even though that's what they will tell you, but mm-hmm. you have to understand deception is prominent.
Everybody has a nationality.
Yes,
everybody.
They do. Yes, they do. And so here they're saying that the Haitian people come from Hades slaves. That's the first key right there.
Whoa, slaves.
Hades slaves. So they're identified as slaves, derived from African areas from Senegal to the Congo. Most of these slaves came from Central Africa and current Benin.
So when the prophet just said that Haiti slaves, mm-hmm. we know that there was a certain period of time that people took people off the shores of Africa and let them in slavery, took them in slavery.
And then when we think about the division of the southern and the northern kingdoms, we know that they were all spread all across the four corners of the earth. That's scripture. Not just in one point.
Right.
Around.
And you know what? Mm-hmm. Prophets, finish that up. We go right to the scripture to back up what you just said.
Okay.
Finish that
up. So we talked about where they came from. Mm-hmm. It was another point I wanted to bring out. You were talking about the colonization. So we spoke about the Roman Catholic. So it says Haiti was colonized by Roman Catholic Europeans. And so then it goes on to say, in Hades, these rituals are commonplace. Voodoo is the dominant religion.
Voodoo is the what?
Is the dominant religion. One common saying is that Haitians are 70% Catholic, 30% Protestant, and 100% Voodoo.
And 100% Voodoo. Okay, hold it there. Voodoo originated with people that look like me, the Haitians. Mm-hmm. They brought that here. They started that. Okay? Voodoo. It's a bad trait. It's not good for anybody else, but it's a characteristic that's mentioned of in the Bible.
Right.
All right? Let's go into your King James Version Bible, and let's go to chapter 49. Let's go to the prophecy on Levi, okay? Genesis. Chapter 49. Okay. And prophets, because you know what, we include Simeon because we went over this last Sabbath about Simeon. Mm-hmm. Simeon and Levi live right next door to each other. Right. They're brothers. Mm-hmm. We know that they're brothers, but the Most High made a distinct characteristic about these two because they're geographically together on the map.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Read verse 5, prophets.
Simeon and Levi are brethren. Mm-hmm. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation.
Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation. They practice these dark arts. And you brought this up about New Orleans, right, Prophet?
Right. Well, actually, they make reference to for some of the rituals that they have in the Haitian lands, mm-hmm. they refer back to the similarities of New Orleans.
Right.
And anyone who knows, they know that they have the Creole, Creole people, which are also Haitian people, and they have French backgrounds as well, as do the Haitians.
Come on.
So, where you want me to read?
Keep going.
Where? Oh, reading. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so we are at verse 5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly, mine honor. Be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall.
Now, you know what? The prophecy on Levi and Simeon is that guess what they do? They slew a man.
They slew
a man. And the scriptures is telling you, don't come amongst them. Don't gather with them. Many people picked up their practices. What's that slew a man?
That slew a man means dead. Killed.
Yeah. But how do they do it without touching you? Don't they come up? Then they come up. Ain't they the only ones that came up with something called a voodoo doll?
And in their self-will.
They
dig down a wall. Cursed in their self-will. They dig down a wall. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel.
That's the part I want you to bring out right there. But look, they make a voodoo doll. The only people that do that, okay? They will gather something that's personal to you, bind it together, put a curse on it, and the Most High say it's cruelty.
And so basically, as we're reading here, it says, "Oh my soul," because a lot of times you can't just read over it like it's a poem.
Exactly.
It says, "Oh my soul." So this is really the warning, because it's saying that they're going to be living together in the instruments of cruelty. It goes on to talk about some of the instruments or the outcomes of their instruments. "Oh my soul, come not thou in their secret." So don't come into their haven or into their group. Unto their assembly.
Don't go to their assembly.
Mine honor.
You don't know what you're getting yourself into. Come on.
And don't go in there. Don't go in there in according to mine honor, because it's not. Be not thou united. Do not unite with them. For in their anger they slew a man. So you get in the midst of that, thinking you honoring somebody, and they'll end up killing you in the midst of them, and nobody will be. And then they dig down a wall with their self-will. Ain't no telling that the wall they dig down is your grave. Cursed be their anger.
Now look, verse 7. What the Most High say?
Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel.
Right.
I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel.
The Most High say, I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel. So that is the prophecy on Levi, right? Levi is scattered among Jacob, which is Judah, and Israel.
Well, actually, Jacob is Israel, because his name is Israel.
Right.
But he divided them in Jacob, because we know that there were part that stayed in the northern kingdom and part that stayed in the southern kingdom.
Exactly.
You're right. So that's the divide in Jacob.
Exactly.
So they stayed within them. Together, but they were split. So some went with the northern kingdom, which was the 10 laws, and then some stayed with the southern, who were there before the 70 AD.
And the southern was mainly Judah, Benjamin, and some Levi.
Partial Levi. So that's why they say the 3 tribes represented was Benjamin, Levi, and Judah, of course. Judah, Benjamin, Levi.
Now, prophets, hold it there. This is what the Most High showed me about Levi today, okay? Hold it there. Go over to where Levi verse came here. Go to Genesis chapter 29.
Okay.
Genesis chapter 29.
All right.
Now, read verse 34. Read that slow, prophet.
And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, Now this time will my husband be joined unto me.
Now this time will my what?
Husband be joined unto me.
Or wife, right? Husband or wife, correct? Will be what?
Joined unto me.
Levi is the what hood? Priesthood, right?
Right.
Didn't the office of marriage start with the priests?
Because I have borne him 3 sons, therefore was his name called Levi.
And what was his function? My what? My husband?
My husband be joined unto me.
But
you could say wife, but we always want to look to husband, because we need, who's speaking is the woman or the bride. Right. And that's us. Right. That's always us.
It's always us.
Maybe we can have our husband joined to us, the bridegroom, which is Yeshaya, to be joined to us. So yeah, I see what you're saying. There's a lot of representation there. And the join to them means that we hold now the office not just a priest, but priest and king.
Priest and king. So Levi had a powerful office, brothers and sisters. They were the priests of the Most High. Yeah. They made supplication for us through the Most High. So them dealing in the spiritual world, dibbing and dabbing, was open to them.
I get where you go. I'm catching up with you, Elder. Because Levi was the priest. Today, that's who we look to join any husband and wife.
Exactly. Together. That whole office, that whole ceremony thing, that comes through them.
That comes through them. Okay, I see.
Praise the Most High. Prophet, you ready to get into the meat of it? Ready. We're getting ready to go into the Studio Graphica. And we're going to read the testament of Levi, brothers and sisters. Hold your horses. And Prophet, if they don't have a Studio Graphica, what can they do?
Well, and we've been letting them know the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs by R.H. Charles can be found at www.earlychristianwritings.com. And you can find the title of the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. Okay. And we use a version by R.H. Charles.
Okay. Great. I'm finding this right now, pulling this up here. And it's a lot with Levi. It's going to be a lot with Levi. Okay?
Because what we want, and then we don't want to go too fast. We want to really pull out the meat of this as much as possible. I'm sure you do. I think it's very key, Elder, what you picked up in that verse. The joining up together, the office, the sanctity of the office of the priest, and that it was placed in the hands of Levi originally. And going through their life and their history, we see a lot of things, and we should really pay attention and see how that lines up with what we're looking at today.
Yes. Brothers and sisters, get your recorders going on. Tune in, because Levi is in depth. There's a lot on Levi. Of course, it's going to be a lot on Levi. It's going to be a lot on Judah. Why? Because the prophet just said it. Those two main offices, right? The office of the priesthood and the office of the kingship. Mary's family is from the priesthood. Christ's family is from the kingship. My father, David. Okay? His
Joseph.
Yeah. Okay. My father Joseph. They come from the line of David. Right. Okay. Mary's bloodline comes from the priesthood. Okay. That's why Christ is king and priest. Right. All right. All praise. Prophets, Khan, when you are at the testament. All right. So we're getting ready. Let's get ready. Let's go.
The copy of the words of Levi, the things which he ordained unto his sons, according to all that they should do, and what things should befall them until the day of judgment. He was sound in health when he called them to him, for it had been revealed to him that he should die. And when they were gathered together, he said to them, and that's interesting in and of itself. It says he was sound in health.
Now, he wasn't on his deathbed.
He wasn't sick. He just knew spiritually. So it had been revealed to him. Because if you're going to reveal it, that's a revelation. So he was told that he was going to die.
Right.
And when they were gathered together, he said to them, I, Levi, was born in Haran, and I came with my father to Shechem. And I was young, about 20 years of age.
Oh, he was really young.
When with Simeon, I wrought vengeance on Hamor.
Okay, here's the prophecy. He brought what? Vengeance on who?
On Hamor for our sister Dinah.
Now, that's with Simeon. Him and Simeon did that.
Okay? Slew a man.
They slew a man.
And when I was feeding the flocks in Abel and Maul, the spirit of understanding of the Lord came upon me, and I saw all men corrupting their way, and that unrighteousness had built for itself walls. There are the walls. And lawlessness sat upon towers. And I was grieving for the race of the sons of men, and I prayed to the Lord that I might be saved. Then there fell upon me a sleep, and behold, a high mountain, and I was upon it. And behold, the heavens were opened, and an angel of the Most High said to me, Levi, enter. And I entered from the first heaven, and saw there a great sea hanging. And further I saw a second heaven, far brighter and more brilliant, of there of there was a boundless light also therein.
Now, brothers and sisters, I want to stop it right there. You gotta understand, the Most High dealt with his people in a